Good morning students, this is Shiv Krishna. Today presentation on forging process in the metal forming process from the second unit from the Department of Mechanical Engineering, DBS Institute of Technology, Kavali. So last class we can discuss about rolling applications, defects in roller products, machinery and equipment. So today we can continue the second unit, forging process. So in this PPT we can tell the principles of the forging, types of forging, smith forging, top forging, roll forging, and forging hammers, rotary forging, forging defects, in forces in forging of strips, and disc, forces in forging of disc, and applications. So we can discuss it one by one. So what is a forging? Forging is a process of shaping heated metal by the application of sudden blow. So sudden blow means hammer forging, or steady pressure, that is pressure forging, and make use of the characteristics of plasticity of the material. Plasticity of the material. So forging means shaping of the metal by heating the metal applications of sudden blow. So sudden blow means by applying the hammer process, or steady blow. So steady blow means by applying the pressure process. So these are the forging process. A metal such as steel can be shaped in a cold state, but the applications of heat lowers the yield point and makes permanent deformation easily. Forging may be done by hand or machine. So forging may be done by handing or machinery. Forging by machine involves the use of dies and generally used in mass production. So the forging process involves in the mass production. Forging refers to the production of the medium size and heavy parts in the large scale using closed heating furnace and heavy hammers, forging process and machineries. So forging refers to the production. So it is a medium size of the heavy parts like heating furnace and heavy machinery. Forging is a working of metal into a useful shape by hammering or pressing. By shaping the metal by using the hammering process or pressing process. These two processes we can use the shape of the metal will be changed the forging process. So forging is basically involves plastic deformation of material between two dies to achieve desired configuration. So we can see the diagram. So there are three steps. So first step is blank setting. So second type is forging. So third one is knockout. So first of all we can choose the blank setting. So the raw material placed at the blank space. So the raw material means when heating the metal, that material will be raw material. So the raw material will place it to the blank place. Then apply the some force by the forging process. So the metal will be deformed, the raw material will be deformed to the required shape. Next, this is the finished product. Then removing the forge or pressure. So the knockout. So this is the finished process. The shape of the raw material will be changed to the while applying the forces or by pressing the forging process. So that shape will be changed to the original shape. So this is the finished product. So the both raw materials and forging dies are at the same temperature. So by applying the forging process, the raw material and forging die will be in the same temperature. Why means the material will be changed the forging process shape by applying the same pressure. By do not by change the by forging dies is not applying the raw material temperature, so the material will not change the required shape. So that's why the material and the raw material and forging press die will be in same temperature. So the finished product is coming. So these are all the forging process. Next, forging tools. So what are the tools in forging? The main hand forging tools are as under. So we can see the figure, the hand forging. So these are all the hand forging tools: hard chisel, punch, savage, rivet head, flat tongues. So rivet or ring tongues, straight leg. So we can discuss one by one. So tongues. So tongues are used mainly for holding work of many sections. So by using the tongues, holding purpose. So we can use the tongues or holding purpose in work of many sections. So many of sections we can know tongue is used for folding the workpiece. Flatter. So flatter is used to give smoothness or accuracy to articles which have already been shaped by fullness and savage. So flatten is used to give the smoothness of and accuracy. So flatter means so straightening anamata. So mana by using the given material is smoothen and accuracy is changed to the flatter shape of the furnishing. So savage. Savage is used to reduce or finish to round or square or hexagonal form. It consists of two parts, the top part having a handle and the bottom part having a square shank. So scavenge is used to reducing the product or finishing to round, square or hexagonal form. So it consists of scavenge consists of two parts. So top part is a handle and the bottom part is a square shank. So next, anvil. So anvil is used for supporting hard job while hammering is done, for shaping it into various shapes. It made of cast steel. So anvil is used to support of hard job with hammering process. So hammering process యూస్ చేయడానికి మనకి యాన్విల్ అనేది యూజ్ అవుతుంది. ఇస్ డన్ ఆఫ్ షేప్డ్ విత్ వేరియస్ షేప్స్. ఇట్ మే బి క్యాస్ట్ ఐరన్. సో savage block. It is used for holding hard bars during bending support or punching holes in the job and various holes. Fullers. Fullers are used for necking down to form depression. So what is a forging tools? So forging tools are hand hammer, sledgehammer, punch, chisels. So these are all the tools of forging. hammers, sledgehammers, punching, chisels. Forging operations. So what is the forging operation? Upsetting. It is the operation by which the thickness or cross-sectional area of the workpiece is increased at the expense of its length. Drawing down. It is the operation by which the thickness or cross-section area of workpiece is reduced by increasing length. Next, setting down. It is the local pinning operation performed by the set hammer. Bending. It is an operation by which the bend may be either curve or sharp corner can be produced. Bending can be done using bake of anvil. So you can see the diagram also. So this is the bending by applying the hammering process. By punching the hammer process, the sheet will be bending for L shape. Punching. It is the process of making holes in the workpiece using punch and hammer. So punching is used for holes the workpiece by applying the hammer. Welding. It is a process of joining two surfaces of metal under pressure after they can heated to welding temperature. So welding process is joining the two surfaces by applying the heated of welded temperature. Cutting. It is a form of chiseling where a long piece of stock is cut into several pieces of required length. So this is the cutting operation. So we can, by the raw material will be very long. By applying the chiseling, the material will be reduced to required shape. The length of the original length will be reduced to the required shape by applying the cutting operation using chiseling. So the material will be cut into number of pieces. What is open die forging? This process also known as Smith die forging or flat die forging. The operation is carried out between two flat dies of very simple shape, generally between the bottom surface of hammer and the top surface of anvil. So we can see the figure open die forging. So this is the workpiece. So length will be 3 meters and the diameter will be 2 meters. By applying two flat dies between the workpiece will be changes to the final product. So these are the final result of the forging operation. So this shape will be changed to applying the forces between the two flat surfaces between the raw material. The surface will be reduced, the diameter of the surface will be reduced and the length of the workpiece will be increases. The workpiece reduces their height are plastically deformed by compressing it. The process is used for mostly large objects or when the number of parts produced is small and to perform the workpiece for closed die forging. Tooling is simple, inexpensive and allows the production of large varieties of shapes. So by seeing the figure, forging large turbine shaft. So this is the forging large turbine shaft. So this is in the below figure forging pressure vessel cylinder. So same this is also 3 centimeters of the length and 2 mm dia with a hole of vessel cylinder by applying the hole. So by applying the flat die process, so the shape of the metal will be changes and the diameter of the tube also will be increases. So the pressure vessel will be changes to small dia to large dia. So the forging vessel cylinder will be increases. So these are the final result of the pressure vessel cylinder. So these are all the open die forging. So this type of forging process will be a process engine in open area, so not in closed area. So that's why we can call it as a open die forging. So next, advantages of open die forging: reduced chance of voids, better fatigue resistance, improved microstructure, continuous grain flow, finer grain size, greater strength. So these are all the advantages of open die forging. Next, closed die forging. So in this process is used only closed process. So in open die process is in open surface area. So in the closed die process is applying the closed process. So by applying the two dies in between the workpiece, so there are workpiece will be changed to the die shape, inner die and outer die, lower die and upper die. So the both dies will be having some required shape. The workpiece will be changed to the required shapes of the die. So these are all the closing process. The closing process is by applying the pressure, the upper die will be reduced to touch the lower die. The workpiece will be reduced to length and change the required shape of the closed die. So these are all the closing process. So we can see the diagrams also. So this process is also called as impression die forging. Impression means, so the die have one shape, so the workpiece will be changes to the required shape. So these are all the impression. So the shape of the die will be changes to the required workpiece. In this metal is deformed under high pressure between two dies. This is called tooling, or in a closed cavity that contain a profile of the desired part. Closed die forging are commonly used where mass production of identical and more complex shapes of greater accuracy are required. The pressure provides precision forging with close dimensional tolerance. Normally used for smaller components, closed dies are expensive. So these are all heavy expensive products. Next, types of forging. So what are the types of forging process? So first one is Smith forging. So this is the traditional forging operation done openly or inopenly dies by the village blacksmith or modern shop floor by manual hammering or by the power hammer. So we can see the Smith forging operation. The blacksmith villages, we can see the blacksmith operators or modern shop by applying the manual hammering. So even small villages we can see the blacksmith operations. So in villages are heavy large products will be changing the forge smith operations. This process involves heating the stock in the blacksmith, heated and then beating it over the anvil. To get the desired shape, the operator has to manipulate the component in between two blowers. So in this smith operations, by heating the stock in blacksmith, by applying the beating it over the anvil, the required shape will be changes to the original shape. The operator has manipulated the component in between the two blowers. So these are all the smith operations. We all are, so we have to familiar to these operations. So next, drop forging. It is also called as stamping. It consists of special types of hammer known as drop hammer or drop stamp. Perfectly made steel dies are used for forging. The top part of the die is raised by mechanical leg to a certain height. The heated metal placed accurately in the bottom part of the die. The top part of the die is then allowed to fall suddenly. This gives a high blow and complete the workpiece in the single operation. So drop forging means we can see the diagram. So this is the raw model. So this is anvil. So the workpiece will be placed in the anvil. The raw material, the raw podding of will increase. The load will be increased. The raw material will be suddenly applied by the force. By applying the anvil, the workpiece will be changed to the required shape of the die. So this is the drop forging process. Roll forging process. Roll forging is a process where round or flat bar stock is reduced in thickness and increased in length. So roll forging process, it is the round bar or flat bar stock. It is reduced thickness and increased the length. So by using the rolling process, the material will be increasing the length. The thickness of the material will be reduced. The length of the material will be increased by applying the rolling process, where round process are flat bar stock. Roll forging is performed using two cylindrical or semi-cylindrical rolls. A heated bar is inserted into the roll, and when it hits the spot, the roll rotates. The bar is progressively shaped as it is rolled through the machine. So the roll performance using two cylindrical or semi-cylindrical rolls. When heating the bar inserted into the rolls. When heating the bar, it will be placed into the rolling. When it hit the spot or roll rotates the bar progressively, shapes the roll. The, the material will shape the roll through the machining operation. So by applying the machining operation, the roll will be rotates. The shape of the roll is also change the operation. The piece is then transformed to the next set of growers or turned around the reinset into the same grooves. This continues until the desired shape of the size is achieved. The advantage of this process is there is no flash and it is impact of favorable grain structure into the workpiece. So we can see the diagram. So this is all the rolling process. So ideal roll. So axial rolls. So both tools are axial rolls. Drive roll. So this is the workpiece. When rotates the rolling process, the dia will be reduced, the length of the cylinder will be increased. So this is another diagram. You can see the workpiece. The workpiece will be in small in length. When speed of the roll will be increases, the roll rotates, the length will be changed. So then it passes to the another roll. So this is the side view of the roll. This is the front view of the roll and side view of the roll. So the roll will be rotates. The workpiece will be changed to the required shape. So finally, we can change the required shape of the length by applying the rolling process. So these are all the final workpiece of the given diagram. So this is the original shape of the workpiece. So this is the final result of the workpiece, final shape of the workpiece. Next, hammer forging. So next type is hammer forging. Machine which is worked by blow or impact to pressure forging process is known as hammer forging. Machine which is worked by blow or impact to perform forging process is known as hammer forging. Power hammer provides greater capacity in which the ram is accelerated on the downstroke by steam on air pressure in additional to gravity. So you can see the diagram. This is the steam down hammer and board hammer. So these are two types of hammer forging. So first one is steam down hammer. So this is the draft, this is the up. So by applying the force, the pattern will be raised to draw. The pressure will be reduced. When suddenly apply the force, the pattern will be dragged to up. The workpiece will place it to the middle of the two dies. So this one is upper die, this is the lower die. So this is the workpiece. By applying the hammer process, the shape of the workpiece will be changed to the required shape by applying the pressure. steam or air pressure is also used to raise the ram on the upstock. By applying the steam, the ram will be rising. By removing the steam, the ram will be reduced to the buffer touching the workpiece. The upper die and the rams are raised by frictional rolls gripped on the board. So these are all the board hammer. So the upper dies and ram are raised by frictional rolls gripping the board. So these are all the two rolls for gripping the board. When rolls are rotated, the board will be torn from motion. So when rolls are rotate in high speed, the board will be down. It touches to the workpiece. So this is the ram. This is the anvil. So this is the middle of the two upper and roll dice is a workpiece. The when touching the ram to workpiece and anvil, so the workpiece will be changes to the original shape. After releasing the board, the ram falls under gravity to produce the blow energy. The hammer can strike between 60 to 150 blows per minute depending on size and capacity. So this is the capacity of the blow per a minute is 60 to 150. This is capacity and it depends upon the size. So these are all the hammer forging process. So next, rotary forging. In this process, the punch is given or orbital rocking motion while pressing the workpiece. As a result of the area of contact between work and punch is reduced. Therefore, lower forging loads are sufficient. The final part is formed in several small steps. Example of part production by this process include bevel gates, wheels, bearings, bearing rings. So for rotary forging, the examples of the rotary forgings are bevel gates, wheels, bearing ring. So these are all the rotary forging process. Next, advantages and disadvantages of cold, warm and hot forging process. So first of all, we can see the cold forming advantages and disadvantages. Precision process. So cold forming advantages is precision process or tight tolerance, improved part strength, better surface finish, material conservation. So these are all the advantages of cold forging process, and disadvantages of cold forging process are high forming pressure, several pre-forming steps needed, annealing steps may be required during process, low formability. So these are all the disadvantages of cold forming process. Next, warm forming process advantages. Combines advantages of cold and hot forming, better formability, low forming pressure, high deformation ratio, no annealing required. So these are all the advantages of warm forging process. Next, disadvantages in warm forging process. High tooling cost. Tooling must withstand forming pressure as well as high temperature. So these are all the advantages in warm forging process. Next, we can go to the hot forging process in advantages. It can forge complex shapes. It has a good formability. In hot forging has a low forming pressure. It can forge parts of high weight and volume. So these are the advantages of hard forging process. Disadvantages in hard forging process: formation of scale, decreased accuracy, a large tolerance. So these are all the disadvantages in hard forging process. Next, what is the defects in forging? Pitting. It occurs on the surface of forge due to scaling, cold shuts or laps, short cracks that occurs on the corners of the surface that are at right angle to each other. Die shaft caused due to misalignment between two handles of forging dies. Dents. It caused due to careless working. Oxidation and decarburization occur due to overheating of stock. Fins and racks. Small projection or loose metal die driven into the forging surfaces. So these are all the defects in forging operations. Next, some other common defects are, so these are all the common defects: incomplete filling of dies, burnt and overheated metals, flakes, internal breaks and rupture, incorrect size of forging, tears, blowholes, internal cracks. So these are all the common defects in forging operations. So next, forces in forging of strips. So first of all, you can see the diagram. In a rectangular bar, the length of the bar will be 2L and width is B. The bar will be placed to X and Y axis in horizontal to the X axis. And the section will be placed at distance of Y. The pressure will be placed in top and bottom. So we can discuss in strip. Let 2L be the length of the strip, B is the thickness of the strip. So already seen in the diagram. Consider a section YY, a YY section at a distance of Y from Y axis. So the Y will be at a distance of Y axis. It is a YY section. While performing forging on strip, the forces acting at extreme ends are equal, as the forces are distributed equally about center of the forging. That is, forces at F y equal to 0, that is equal to capital F y minus 2L. So the about y is equal to small l. From y equal to 0 to y equal to small l. As the strip elongates due to the sliding between the strip and the die take place, but after certain points at y dash, the sliding stops because the frictional stresses increase to its critical value, which is equal to the yield shear stress than the further remains constant up to y is equal to small n. So this is the derivation product. If y lies between 0 and y dash, then shear stress tau is equal to mu rho. For the sliding zone, P1 is equal to 2 into Ke 2 mu y by B, where K is a yield shear stress. If P lies between y dash and L, then for this non-sliding zone, P2 equal to P dash plus 2K by B into y minus y dash, where P1 and P2 are forces, are sliding and non-sliding zone respectively, and P is a pressure at y equal to y dash. Since y dash is equal to B by 2 mu ln log 1 by 2 mu, P2 equal to 2K into 1 by 2 mu into 1 minus ln into 1 by 2 mu plus y by B. Then the total forging force per unit length is, therefore F is equal to 2 into integral 0 to y dash P1 dy plus integral y to L P2 dy. So these are all the forces in strips on forging of strips. Next, forces in forging of disc. Let R is the radius of the disc, B is the thickness of the disc, capital R be the certain radius beyond which radial expansion takes place. So capital R, radius of disc at particular section. If the section lie between R dash, capital R dash and small r, then shear stress tau is equal to mu into rho. If the section lie between 0, O and R dash, then shear stress tau is equal to K. The periphery of the die is free to expand, and therefore P is equal to square root of 3 into K. So R dash is equal to small r minus B by 2 mu ln 1 by square root of root 3 mu. For expansional zone, R dash less than or equal to R less than or equal to small r. Pressure P1 is equal to square root of 3K expansion 2 mu by B small r minus capital R. For non-expansion zone, 0 less than or equal to capital R less than or equal to R dash. Pressure P2 is equal to 2K small r minus capital R by B plus K by mu into 1 minus log of square root of root 3 into mu. Thus, the total forging process is given by, so capital F is equal to 2 pi into integral of 0 to P1 P2 capital R dr plus integral R dash into small r P1 capital R dr. So that is, therefore final product of F is equal to 2 pi into 2K R2 by B R by 2 minus capital R by 3 plus K R2 by 2 mu 1 plus ln root 3 into mu det of 0 to x1 r dash minus root 3K expansion 2 mu into small r minus capital R by B into B square by 4 mu square 1 plus 2 mu small capital R by B into R dash into small r. So these are all the forces in the final step. So this is the forging operation. So in this PPT we can know the what is the forging operation and the defects in forging. So forging tools and forging hammer, the open die forging and closed die forging, and the smith operations, blacksmith operations, rolling operations, rotary forging, hammer forging, roll forging, drop forging. So these are all the forging types. Next we can To the defects of the forging, advantages and disadvantages of forging, and cold forging and hot forging and warm forging. Come some common defects of the forging. So this is the completion of the unit 2 forging operations. So completion of the PPT will complete the unit 2 also. So tomorrow we'll discuss the continuation unit 3. Thank you.